Hey there, everyone, and happy Thursday. We're going to take another look at the market today, and we're going to give updates on Nvidia, Palantir, SoFi, but then I also have that sexy RZLV stock to also give some updates on as well, following that recording that I did last night. And then also Microsoft is getting at a very interesting point in its price action as well. Wait until I show that chart to you in this video. Mind you, all this stuff and more available over at the Discord. Come on over and join us. Code word doctor when you sign up. The link's in the description. So we'll get back to you, RZLV. For right now, the cues, we have a CPI report coming out 8:30 today. So we'll watch and see. Right now, the pre-market hours, we're up about $2 from yesterday's close. And so you can see this orange line up here for the pre-market, giving us a little bit of hope that today is going to be a nice day. The market definitely still wants to be bullish. What we're looking for, please, for CPI is disinflation, where we have that subdued inflation. We don't want to see strong negative numbers that would point to deflation, as that could be recessionary for us. So the most bullish case that we'd have would be those near zero values. The nearer to zero, the better that we'd have, especially on the positive side of it. And then if it is down in the negatives, hopefully not strongly. So as I think that some of those negative numbers from PPI may have spooked things a little bit in the market yesterday. So today, last inflation report that we get before the Fed meeting on September the 17th. That's also going to be a pretty darn big time for us as well. The market might just run up until that time if we get positive news from CPI, positive from Michigan consumer sentiment. We'll see how we enter into the weekend as that plays out. So for the cues, I'll put up my day trading technicals. Once again, you can see how they worked out yesterday when you look in this area. I showed that 5-minute chart. I'll put out new ones, updated ones, for what we could see coming for us today. So here's what yesterday's looked like. You can see a lot of the pivot highs there we touched on the trend line, sold off. And you can see a whole bunch of those pivots hitting just on those trend lines as I have them out here, along with that chop that's right in here where you have that support resistance all tangled up. And that's even about where we peaked out going into the market close yesterday. Now, if CPI is very favorable, IWM should do pretty darn well for us. We're up near the previous peak. We want to push up above that. 248 is still my price tag, assuming that things go well for us by the end of 2025. But if CPI goes well and the Fed meeting goes well, we could see it here, making it a September to remember. I got to say, September's actually been all right so far. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that it doesn't mess things up over these last several days that we have. Bitcoin trading back up above its 50 EMA, breaking out of its near-term bearish channel that was in, and resuming the march higher that it has off of when we look at the weekly chart, there's an inverse head and shoulders that's in here as well. There it is. There's left shoulder, head, right shoulder on that thing with that retest of the neckline of it. We'll see if we can get that push that puts that 150 price tag on it. AVAX, I spoke yesterday, breaking through resistance. So far, finding support at this 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level. And we'll see if it can pump from there and hit that $35 price tag based off the double bottom that we see on the weekly chart for AVAX token. So AVAX token, Avalanche. And then Nvidia. What are we looking at for Nvidia? We are right up against, I put some red rectangles on here to show you resistance where we find ourselves. Pre-market hours at 178.37. That's about, there we go. It's actually right at the bottom of this resistance line. That's why it's hard to see on there. We'd probably have to drop down to an intraday chart to see a little bit more detailed what's going on in these pre-market hours here. Nvidia, once again, wants to push higher. If it can take what's that number up here? 179, we have room up to 184. If we're able to break through those previous all-time highs that we have for Nvidia, if we can break that, then 192 is on the horizon, and that resistance carries us all the way up till 200, which includes round number resistance, and that $5 trillion market cap for Nvidia is waiting right around like 204, 205. I haven't calculated since their last earnings with where their diluted shares sit, but it's probably still near that value of 204, 205, so just north of that $200 price tag. So for Palantir, what's it doing? Right now, it is up above. There we go, put that up there for you. Right now, Palantir is just north of that 166.72. We'll see if it continues to give us that price action that allows us to rise up to that 185. We want the market bias at its back. So if the markets are running, Palantir should be able to run with it. If the markets aren't running, if they're falling instead, it's going to drag on multiples of all stocks that are out there. So SoFi still trading its range. We'll see if we break out the bottom and retest resistance at 24.34, 24.35, or if we break out of the top of this thing, close above 26.15, preferably above 26.61 if we can. That can give us that 28 plus price tag coming out of SoFi. in the near future. So that's what I'm looking for. Once again, mostly bullish on the markets. And then Microsoft, it's a 4-hour chart. Beautiful view. Here's the structure that we have to break. There's the downtrend. If we're able to break up above this trend line, that could be very bullish for us for Microsoft. Finding that round number support right around that $500 per share. We're watching them push back up above that trend line on top of these Fibonacci extension levels that we have on here, which can serve as pretty solid support, which also happen to be, if we zoom around this, just put us north of the 5, 13, and 50-day EMAs. And then if we go out to the weekly chart to see how we're positioned with the moving averages, it would also put us back up above the 5-week moving average. That sits right around 503.69. That's that number to get back on top of to overtake some of this price action that we've seen over the past several weeks from Microsoft. But we got to say, it has been just an incredible run for them, going all the way from south of $400 and then peaking all the way up above 554, and now getting to that settling period. There's that weird looking goose head thing that we get every once in a while, that if we fall down below, there it is, honk honk, there's that goose head. Fall down below that and retest 13 as resistance, that can send us down to this 50-week that we have on here, which would coincide with some of these peaks that we have. We have some pivots on the way down to about mid 450s. Let's keep our fingers crossed that Microsoft is able to push through and push higher from where it's at right now. And then that sexy RZLV stock that I probably should have paid closer attention to. I think those of you who are fans would agree with me when we look at this thing that, man, it's been on a rocket ride. And the fact that I even had some coverage and some technicals on this one and said, hey, watch for it to break above this. I should have set an alert to let me know, give me that signal when we actually did close up above that 200 EMA. And that volume signal that we got with it, that volume confirmation was just enormous back on August the 28th. And it's taken us from those $3-ish levels, peaking, and it actually hit $7, I believe, in the after hours. But be careful up in here, being that we're very overbought at this point. Although those volumes are encouraging, it's not that we can't go higher, but we do have to get up above 664 and show it as support to open up that pathway to 779. If we fall down below 620, that can take us back down to 545. If we fall back down below that, we fall all the way back down to just south of $5. And now, mind you, with this sort of volume, a little bit of softening or retracing could be not just that this would be a pump and dump sort of place. This is one that's actually getting cash, actual cash, thrown its way as a company, and it's contributing to the movement in that stock price. Relatively low market cap, low float. This thing's pushing up with some dilution risk, but still, it has that 50% plus potential, especially if we do get some of that retracement on this, getting a little bit of profit taking, especially as we go into the weekend. We might see that, but then again, like I said, we could have that rocket ship ride that takes us closer to $8, but we got to sit on top of 664 first, and then that opens up the next resistances to the north, like I said, around 779. And if we look farther left, just one last thing, if we look farther left on this thing, we actually do see that this is where we get a significant amount of chop here in the graph, right between, starts all the way down here at 481 and lasts all the way up until 938. And you can just see how wild and volatile the trading was during that time with all these wild wicks and large candles and everything. And so this could be that time that as we get near that 779, you can see the chop we're in right now. If we can get near that 779 price tag that's up here, that's where we start to hit the bottom of that shelf over there, which means that we could hit our heads right around that 0.5 Fibonacci level. So guys, I'm going to put out more technicals, including my day trading technicals on the queues over at the Discord. You can come on over and join us if you want to learn this technical analysis like I do here, trade using technicals, and also all about options trading. You can find it using the coursework through Stockmo Academy down in the description. Whether you're signing up for the Discord and you join the party with the thousands of members over there, along with the panel of experts there to support you in your journey towards financial freedom and building alpha in your portfolio, or you sign up for those courses, hopefully both. Either way, you're investing in yourself. It really is an incredible time. Those courses, by the way, when you use code word doctor for either one, it will work to give you a discount on both. The code word doctor on the courses gives you a $400 discount. If you bundle the courses, you get an even bigger discount because you get a bundle discount stacked on top of it. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.